This is Matveyskaya. And we gotta catch the train. I hope that we're not late for it. But we have time. I do not feel like scaling the escalator. Yep, it arrives. I guess we'll wait for the next one, because I'm not running for that. There's actually a lift on this floor as well. Interesting. Moscow Metro map. I've never taken the lift at the station. The train's actually here, but it's gonna leave in a second. Let's go down. How's everybody at home? I'm from Zimbabwe. Oh, I made a weird poll. 1 second. Watching from... 1 second, guys. Let me just put that questionnaire somewhere on the screen. Yes, I'm in Russia. I'm in Russia. What gave it away? The Russian characters? Perhaps it was this. Actually missed one, but they got another one coming. You guys are new here. My name's Andy the Afterlive. I make content about Russia. And I'm going to take you on a trip with me, probably to get to another station, get some coffee. Here is the different, well, here are the different stations, rather. From the plane. Well, Russia's not Soviet anymore, but thanks for sharing, Frederick World. Ah, Iran. Nice. Hello, Onyx. Looks like Belgium. To be honest with you, Moscow looks like any city in Europe sometimes. Like, it depends on which section of the city you're in. Like, if you look at the horizon, it looks like a completely different place. You look at a different district, it looks different too. South Africa, hey. It's nice to see a fellow Southern African in the chat. I'm from Zimbabwe. Texas, Puerto Rico, Turkey, East Yorkshire, England. I've never been to England. I need to have a visit. Mongolia. Nice. That's another place that I need to visit. I want to go to Ulaanbaatar. Are you in Moscow for holiday? No, I live here. I live here with my beautiful wife. My beautiful Russian wife, that is. Nagib. South Africa in the house too. Perfect. I've noticed I have a lot of South African viewers in my streams. That's beautiful. It's nice to see my fellow Africans in the chat. Much love to you. Much love to you. Next train is coming in a few minutes. We'll be off on our merry way. I like those buildings in the back. We gotta visit one day. I like the design. You see that? Pretty cool. No, I don't experience racism in Russia. Moscow. Dude, the weather has changed significantly. It's actually getting a little bit cold. We are officially in the thick of it. It is autumn. Am I black? I guess. I'd hope so, unless my assumptions are incorrect. But yes. Ooh, what happened over there? Got a cracked window. Got a cracked window over there. See that? Yeah, it happens. Moscow is the European part of Russia. Russia is on the Eurasian, what do they call it? The Eurasian plate? I don't even know what they call it. So Russia is typically referred to as Eurasia, but Moscow is pretty much on the European side. So it's on the European side. A lot of people argue with you when you say that Russia's in Europe. They basically get pissed at you. Not Russians, but other people. It's like, be specific. It's Eurasia. I'm like, okay. Is there a lot to do in Russia? I've never been there. Are there a lot of places to visit? Of course. Russia's the biggest country in the world, my friend. So many things that you can see. Half of Russia's in Asia and Europe, but culturally, genetically, Russians are European. Not exactly. It depends what kind of Russian you're referring to. By nationality, no. Russians aren't European. By ethnicity, oh no, what am I saying? By nationality, there are so many different types of Russians, 140 ethnicities. Yeah. By ethnicity, yeah, it's a bit different because I guess. But then what's interesting in Russia is that nationality and ethnicity are the same thing. So for us, we're like, okay, this person is Russian, but Russian is also an ethnicity. Does that make sense? It's like Slavic, but it's also a nationality. But you also have Russians that are Bashkir, that are Tatar. So yeah, many different ethnic groups in Russia. So yeah. But not only that, Arcus, actually, the first Russians didn't really look Slavic. The first ever Russians didn't really look Slavic. So it's a weird debate, actually. Who was first? I don't really get into it that much. No, incorrect. Actually, the first Russians were... I need to actually check. They weren't Slavic. It's funny, but they weren't. And that's something that's actually quite fascinating to me because I didn't actually think there were different ethnicities in Russia, but the first Russians kind of looked different. I'll give you the exact name on another stream. But I don't really think that matters. The main thing is that everyone pretty much exists here in harmony, and I don't even know how they do it, to be honest. This is Russia. I don't even know how this works, dude, because there are 140 plus ethnicities here, and people respect each other. I'm so sorry, I can't speak English slower. It's an English channel, my friend. I unfortunately can't. If I do start a language channel, maybe I'll go a bit slower, but yeah, I'm pretty much in full flight. So, can't slow down. Sorry about that. I do speak Chinese though. I do speak Chinese. I lived in China for almost 8 years. Tony Barker, you love the train? Yeah. Do you live in Russia? Yes, I do. I live in Russia. Russians are less racist than other Europeans, in my opinion. I mean, it depends. It depends because I feel like racism comes in different forms. But I would say that racism is not a problem here. Like, it's not like I'm gonna be tackled or insulted for being black. That won't happen. But then again, I'm not an ethnicity of another country or region, so I don't know how they feel. But as a black man, I'm fine. I don't experience any racism here. But I can't speak for everyone in Russia. Russia's the biggest country in the world, you know? Ah. Oh, Tony, you're talking about Metro Madness. If you want Metro Madness, I can bring it back next Monday for you. For those of you that are new, we have Metro Madness on Mondays sometimes, and I basically go to as many stations as I can on a specific line. I can do that for you. This train is a little bit older, actually. It's even beginning to rust a bit. They've actually replaced a lot of the older trains recently. It's like a contrast almost. Let me see. Iron Fist said go back to Africa. Russian belongs to Russians. You're gonna pay for the ticket, Iron Fist. Iron Fist sounds so menacing. Iron Fist said go back to Africa. I'm asking him, is he taking me on holiday? I guess he means he's gonna take me. Iron Fist, you gotta buy me dinner first if you want to take me out, buddy. Let's see the background. Oh, maybe hide this person that's talking nonsense. A second. You don't sound black, but educated. So what you're saying is that black people don't sound educated? Bill, you're treading on thin ice. Please. Please sound more intelligent than that. Education's not a race. No, Rhodesia doesn't exist. It would be like me pretending to be Nigerian. Iron Fist, who's pretending to be Russian? I think you've taken too many punches to the head, but stupid. Yeah, it's very stupid. And Iron Fist is another confused one on the channel, but I'll just keep him around for a bit. It's entertaining. Howdy. Educated. I mean, Iron Fist, you don't sound too intelligent or educated. Are you black as well, then? Iron Fist says a majority of black people don't sound educated. He doesn't sound educated. Does that make you black? Let me know in the comments. I'm trying to understand Iron Fist's level of intelligence. Oh man, I get a lot of different takes. No, Iron Fist is just a racist. Pretty much. He told me to go back to Africa, so I'm just clowning him back. Would you like seeing Europeans pretending to be Africans? Who said I'm pretending to be Iron Fist? Wait, can you back up for a sec? What is your argument? What is your argument? Let me know exactly what you're arguing about. Let me know. I'll try to lower my intellect to have a conversation with you as well. So, Iron Fist, let me know. What's your argument? What's your argument, Iron Fist? Don't beat around the bush, say it. What are you trying to say? You have a very prominent name. Don't pull any punches, Iron Fist. Guys, let's wait for Iron Fist's comment. I'm confused on what he's pissed off about. Let's hear it. Explain in detail what your problem is with the stream, Mr. Iron Fist. Don't pull any punches. It's in your name. You gotta drop some fists, Iron Fist. Don't chicken out now. Arcus, that's a funny one. But I guess I'm just waiting for him to say it precisely. Iron Fist, we're waiting. We're waiting. Okay, let's listen. This is what Iron Fist is saying. He's saying, my argument is that people like you don't belong in European countries, just like I don't belong in Africa, and pretend to be African. So, by your measurement, don't belong. What do you mean? Do you mean legally? Do you mean because people should all look the same in a specific country? Which one? Let me know, Mr. Iron Fist. If you mean they don't belong, that's a bit weird if you're European. Just saying, I don't think a lot of Europeans followed the same thing when they colonized Africa. Just saying, you don't hear me complaining. I'm here legally, my friend. I'm here legally. Dude is retarded. He doesn't even understand that Russia is not purely white. That's the funny thing is. But I'll let you guys eat him up. I'm not really gonna get into him so much. But I will say the Iron Fist name is definitely not living up to its hype. To be honest with you. What was I saying? 6'7" Slammer, you said you wanted me to do accents. Which one today? Which accents should I put on? Somebody said Iron Fist is a retard. I bet he probably a Christian nationalist and yet hates me. No, I didn't block Iron Fist. I didn't block him. I did not block him. I didn't block him. I'm asking him for explanations. He's not giving them to me. We can't see him. I didn't block him. Scroll through the chat. I haven't removed him. My parents are Haitians. I was born in Canada, but I don't feel Canadian. I always refer to myself as Haitian. Listen, Iron Fist said 80% of Russians are Slav. What are you on about? Yeah, but your argument is you basically said that what? I don't belong here? So, what is your measurement of not belonging here, Iron Fist? Nobody talked about the percentages. So if 80% are Slavs and the rest are ethnic Russians, do they not belong here too? What's your logic on that one? Let me know. Do all the other 20% not belong here? Because there is an Afro-Russian community, by the way, that has been here for generations too. Do they not belong here? I just want to get you on record. I also want to screenshot some of these. You're giving me video material. Hey, Grandma Moore. Have a pleasant day. Black fatigue. I've got another one. Bill DeSmet. What do you mean by black fatigue? I feel like entertaining the racists today. Just have some fun. I've got some time. So Iron Fist saying that Russia is 80% Slav. And I said, okay. And the rest? I don't think it's even 80%. I think it's less now. I need to check my stats. So, Iron Fist, what about the rest of the ethnicities? Do they not belong here? I'm just trying to get the logic, guys. Help me break down what Iron Fist is trying to say. I'm so lost. I mean, there are already a lot of black people in Russia. There are a few. Not to an exuberant amount, but yeah. The best month to visit in Russia, it depends. Are you looking for a winter wonderland? Or are you a person that loves to go to the beach? It depends. XYZ, I've been really patient. I'm trying to understand what you're saying, but I think you're just a troll. I'm just gonna remove you. I'm still waiting for Iron Fist. So guys, just to catch you up to speed, Iron Fist came to my stream. He said that I don't belong in Russia. And I said, okay, why is that? And he said, well, Russians for Russians. Okay. And I was like, what about the other ethnicities? And he said, well, Russia's 80% Slav. And I said, okay. What about the other 20%? Do they not belong in Russia? What's the logic? I'm still waiting. Is the cost of living okay in Moscow? It depends what your standards are, but what is your idea of affordable? I also need to understand where you're from, Mr. Crypto Mango. Because if you come from a different country, it might be expensive. For Westerners, it's not as expensive. It's cheaper. Canada. I mean, I think the Canadian dollar is pretty strong. You'd be fine. You could live in Moscow, get an apartment anywhere between $800, or if you want to go $800 to like $2,000. If you want to go crazy, you could even go up to $4,000. It depends how extravagant you want to be. But some people survive in Moscow on a 100,000 salary because they don't have a family. That's in rubles, by the way. That's in rubles. I would say to survive very comfortably in Russia, you would probably need in Moscow. And if you want to go out and eat, get your girl some jewelry and do all that shit, probably will cost you like 200,000 a month. That's rubles. I don't know how much that is in dollars. You have to convert that, right? And that's like if you want to eat at a restaurant, that's if you're renting, or perhaps if you have kids. That is really comfortable. Really, really comfortable. I do have savings at the end of the month, yes. And I'm a pretty big spender. I love to buy unnecessary types of food. So, and I like to buy my wife some gifts. Implicity. Imagine that. So $2,000 is around 200,000 rubles, pretty much. So yeah, if you had $2,000 a month in Moscow, it's even a little bit more than you need. But it depends what kind of spender you are. I might have to go a bit silent here, guys. People don't like it when you talk on the train, so.
Осторожно, двери закрываются. Следующая станция Ломоносовский проспект. Для вашей безопасности держитесь за поручни.
allowed to stream on YouTube. YouTube is not banned. The server is just slow. Yeah, that is right. I'm a little bit of a shopper. But to be honest with you, when I look at most of my expenses, it's probably gifts from my wife or some weird restaurant that I found on Instagram. So yeah, YouTube is pretty much slow. The server is slow here. Also, our videos that we post here kind of get shadow banned. So Bill DeSmith, I don't see how my wife's race has anything to do with this. Are you also on Iron Fist's timing? I've grown a little bit weary of this, to be honest with you. No, not yet. No Russian citizenship yet. And yes, it feels ridiculous when you're talking to the chat in public. Really ridiculous, so I try to keep it down. Yeah, Bill, you're gone. I gave Bill a chance. Same as Iron Fist, but Iron Fist pretty much ran away. Guys, I'm a very patient streamer. I'll humor you, but when it gets old, I pretty much just kick you out. About YouTube is actually you can't block anybody. You can just hide their comments, so he could actually still be commenting, but we just don't see it. So it's kind of like a mental person in an asylum screaming at the wall. I kind of like it that way. Yeah, Grandma Moore, I guess that's the life of a creator, live streamer. I'm trying to go full send. I'm getting very tired of shooting videos and editing them. I just love streaming. It's fun. But yeah, people will call you weird. Oh yes, the people of Russia are still Russia. The people of Russia are still people. Regardless if you agree with their political views, regardless if you agree with the culture or not. It's pretty much about being human.
Уступайте места инвалидам, пожилым людям, пассажирам с детьми и беременным женщинам.
Kids yet working on them. 6-7 slammer. That's funny. Hopefully in the near future. I won't say too much, but yeah. Hopefully in the near future. Hey Unified, how's it going? They ran away because they were on the wrong side of the tracks. So they came to this train, but they're supposed to be on the other end because each station has two sides, so they went on the wrong side. Thank you so much, 6-7 Slammer. Oh, Crypto Mango, where do you live? Where do you live? Damn, you were called a chink? I'm so sorry, bro. It doesn't even make sense. Some people have the stupidest insults. I get it. Yeah, you know, one thing that I can say that I really am shocked about, and I'm also impressed about when it comes to Russian people, is they basically judge you on based on how you act. You know, because I think Russia of all places, you would assume would be hateful towards Mongolians because of the history, right? But they're far from it. In fact, they're pretty much very welcoming to Mongolians, which is interesting because I don't know. I feel like if it was another part of the world, there probably would have been stigma, which is kind of crazy to me. You know, it just goes to show you. Yeah, the subway's electric, I think. I don't know about the older trains. I'm just looking at one of the people standing on top of the escalator. It's a very interesting stance. I've never put my leg higher than it needs to be. I should try it.
Провод личного электротранспорта и велосипедов возможен только в Чехах.
As it's always. Yep. Me and the Metro are one. But guys, I will bring back Metro Madness on Mondays. We will go back to traveling around the Moscow Metro. Sorry that I didn't do it this Monday. You guys love that. The bag in front of you look like a sweatshirt to me. $3.25. By the way, that performance in the Metro is pretty normal. There's a lot of, there are a lot of performances that go down. No. I've never been asked for money in the Metro, no. I'm disappointed though, because people used to tell me that Russia has a lot of homeless people. I haven't seen them yet. And I've been to 2-3 other cities. I guess I'll keep on exploring. No. You do get drunks. Some people get very drunk, but I don't know if they're homeless or not, to be honest with you. The gas prices for today. There we go. Petrol is 91 rubles a liter. That's pretty good. That's like $1.50 a liter, maybe less. Diesel is 0.8 USD. Charlie Cam, you called me out. I always tell you that I'm gonna go to the church, and I never do. I'm so sorry. But I think I'm not allowed to film in the church. That's one thing. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to film in the church. But when I do have time, remind me. If I'm walking on the other side of the road, tell me. Because I always promise like, we'll go to the church, and I never do. Crazy. Amy Vincent said, then why the hell are we paying so much for fuel? I don't know, Amy Vincent. Where are you? Wait, Amy Vincent, is this the Amy Vincent from the Expat Info? Yeah, the electric scooters are a nuisance, a pain in my ass, to be honest with you. I think people forget that Russia is one of the biggest producers of gas in the world. I don't understand this whole gas price thing because, yes, actually, the gas prices have increased. They have. That's true. That's true. They have increased. But I don't think to the, the extent that people think. We got another one in the chat. Eric, what are you on about? I'm Zimbabwean, my friend. My Russia. I mean, I love Russia, but I don't know how Bruce is tossing this my way. Cool, my wife is also watching. That's nice. That's nice. See you in the chat. Thank you for watching, babe. Probably end this in a few minutes, though. I'm gonna walk to an Italian cafe and then I'm gonna clock out.
No.
Eric is still going, or Eric says you're put in war. Eric, as a Zimbabwean man, I'm very confused. I don't know how I should answer you. I'm so confused how I can answer Eric. Oh, nice. You're currently watching from Botswana. I was born in Botswana. But you know how it goes down. She has to be awesome since we share the same first name. Really? Wait. Grandma Moore, is your first name Christina? Are you a coffee lover? Yeah. But to be honest with you, I feel like I'm the fakest coffee lover of all time. Because I drink lattes. That's not a coffee. That is far from a coffee. It's just a milky thing. Botswana is a nice country too, very underrated. Botswana has a lot of money. I just think we don't manage our finances properly. How could one ever answer such a question? Obviously, such things should never be considered. It's very difficult. You know what I mean, Fenrir? I don't know what Arcus should even expect from me. You know? It's very, very weird. It's hard for me to answer. You know? Because I get so many comments like, what? Like, shame on you for this war, this. I'm just like, I don't know how to respond. I'm a Zimbabwean man living in Russia. They're saying it as if I'm, I don't know, negotiating. Guys, just to be clear, I'm pretty much a streamer with no stake. I mean, a lot of people think I'm funded by the government. I don't know how somebody with 55 viewers could be funded. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Oh, Grandma Moore, so your name is Christina. That's awesome. Awesome. Yep, it's Russia. It's Russia. I think I'll take the long way. We never go this way. Oh no, not you, Arcus. I was talking about yeah, I mixed you up, Arcus. Sorry. Eric. Was it Eric? Somebody was asking me about. He's asking me why I'm at war. I was like, I don't understand. No. The electric scooters can bite me. I would never set foot on an electric scooter. You can quote me on that. Can you speak to American? I do it. I've spoken to a lot of Americans. You guys watch my stream, but you never support my videos. It's so heartbreaking. I have so many interviews with Americans. You guys better go check that out. Because I don't even think I want to do interviews anymore, to be honest with you. I'm so tired of trying to manage going out, interviewing people, And then on top of that, I have to deal with egos, and oh man, it's so difficult. I don't even know how I managed to do like 25 interviews. It's tiring. It gets to you. Is it free or not? Well, you need to pay. You need to pay. Hey, Svetlana, how's it going? Yeah. People think YouTube is banned there, so you must be funded by the Russian government to make Russia look better. I'll say two things about that. One, I mean, I understand why people would think that. I'm a pretty cool guy. And I'm very good at assessing my surroundings. But yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not funded. I don't know which one we could say, but to be honest with you, I see no harm if somebody was like, hey Andy, help us with the tourism in Russia and we're gonna pay you this amount of money. I would do it in a heartbeat. The one thing that I won't do though is pretend like I am somehow a professional in terms of war or whatever. If I had the ability to talk about this stuff or the interest, I would talk about it with you guys. But to be honest with you, I am not that educated on the matter. I discuss politics with my family, and I think that's pretty cool because I think my family's opinion on politics is probably the only opinion that I actually care about. With my friends, I try to keep it neutral because everybody has a different opinion, and it's the worst thing when you lose friends because you don't share the same political opinion. You know, that sucks. And that's why I try to keep my streams very neutral, because a lot of you probably think in different ways. You have different ideas. Everybody's a political pundit. Everybody's a professional. Everybody can argue a point. But then for me, I don't see how it solves anything. You know, the best thing I ever read in a Robert Greene book is never win through argument, win through action. Because in an argument, there's always somebody who loses, right? Actions speak louder than words. And debating on a platform that is run by people that have an agenda is the most contradictory thing for you as a creator, to argue with people when the platform itself is ensuring that your opinion does not get across as much as another form of information. So that is what it is. What side of the political spectrum? I would say that I'm on the side that is pretty much, it's obvious where I am. It's obvious which country I chose to live in. I moved here for my wife, but so I know that cry. That cry is, I didn't get something that I want. I used to do that as a kid. You guys hear the kid crying in the background. What was I saying? I think it's obvious to understand which side I'm on because I'm in Russia. But then I'm also on this side where it's just like, I'm not a political pundit. I'm not somebody who's going to try to convince you of something or stuff something down your throat. Pause, no homo. I'm pretty much a dude that loves the country that he's living in, but can admit to not being a political pundit. And that's okay. Maybe one day if I do become Russian and I do get a citizenship, I might actually go full send. Because I've actually never belonged to a country that I feel that I need to really fight for, because I've pretty much been the type of person that has never been accepted. You know, I was born in Botswana. I was Zimbabwean. I'm a Zimbabwean, but still, people always called me a Zimbabwean. I was never in Botswana. You get it? So even in the country that I was born in, I never really was fitting in at all, you know? And then I moved to China, which was nice, but I also didn't really fit in either. Moved to Russia, people welcomed me, I have a family here, got a wife. First place that I actually feel comfortable in. So it is what it is. Yeah, laws of nature, 48 laws of power. Where in Ukraine are you watching from? The truth is, we really don't even know how Z is Moscow because everyone is so censored and Westerners don't. Yeah. When Westerners don't understand that in some places having the wrong opinion. I don't know about that part, Fenrir. I have many friends that talk openly about not agreeing with certain things about the war, but they never get taken out. And if you'd like that, if you'd like to see their content, I can share it with you too. You know? Some people have opinions here. Don't get it twisted. There are even some people, some of my friends that get very political, and I don't even want to talk about that. And then they're like, Andy, you know this and this. I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk about this, you know, because I feel like it's unnecessary for me to force my political agenda. I'd rather discuss it with my family, discuss it with people that I think maybe on the same wavelength as me, because I don't want to change people's minds. I'm not a pundit. I think you wouldn't fit with a lot of black people in America and some parts of Europe too. I know a lot of black people who would consider you as a nerd or say you act white. I mean, I got that back home as well. I guess being educated is like the worst possible thing ever. But yeah, my parents spent a lot of money, and this is the result, unfortunately, or fortunately. Hopefully people can stop letting politics destroy their lives and own friends and family. Yeah, man. Politics is it's a good thing to discuss world views. You know, it's good. But the reason I don't do it is because people don't know how to argue like a person. Everybody wants to argue like an animal. They want to attack you. They want to throw a specific slur out there. They want to be rude. They want to go at each other. They can't argue like people. You know? They can't argue like human beings. So it's very difficult for me even to consider making a political channel because, you know, like, people would rather scream than actually have a decent human conversation. And that's why I don't do that. I try not to argue. Exactly. If you try to argue about politics, never try the Reddit user. Yeah. That's precisely why I don't argue with people. Because I can have a different opinion to yours. You can have a different opinion to me. But you can't argue with me in a polite way. And then I get pissed off. Right? And then you get pissed off. And then we end up swearing at each other. And then what does that solve? But if a person comes to me and as like, Andy, I disagree with you. And I say, okay, Andy, okay, bro. Why? And he tells me exactly why he disagrees with me. I appreciate that. But then you get people on the street and they just come, oh my God, fascist, this, oh my, this. And you're like, bro, a hi would be nice. You know? A hello, how are you doing? Where are you watching from? Just like how Uzman is asking me, where is this? This is Ramenki, Moscow, west of Moscow. Yeah, the architecture is nice. I'm just sitting here for a few more minutes. I'm going to head out soon. You guys got 9 minutes with me. But yeah, guys, like, it's okay to speak like a human being when people don't have the same viewpoint as you, you know? Yeah, I live in America and my wife is American. I was born in Europe, but I really notice Americans falling into tribalism. There's like hints of little civil war. I've noticed that too. A lot of my American friends tell me too. They're like, you can't have an opinion. Like, I have a friend. He's a commentator and he loves democracy. Yeah, he's a political commentator, and he says it feels so disappointing because America is supposed to be the most democratic country in the world, but people can't argue civilly. And that's like such a contradiction, right? Because people should have their own opinions. It's okay not to agree with me. You can be like, Andy, I don't like what you're doing. I don't agree with you. And I can be like, okay, bro, I understand. You know, you don't have to watch the stream. You don't have to support me. You don't have to join my Telegram channel. You don't have to donate to the channel. You don't have to support. And I respect that. But then when people spew nonsense towards each other, I don't get it. Or you even get people getting shot for having an opinion. That is so inhumane, you know? I think that's when the world really gets it wrong. Because how can you be democratic, or how can you have an opinion in your country if people are basically going to slaughter you for it? You know, isn't that what democracy is? Isn't that what it's about? And I think I saw this coming from a long way, because I saw that even with the whole LGBTQ thing, I have no hatred towards people in the LGBTQ community, right? But what annoyed me is when people disagreed and then you were somehow some evil person and everybody wanted to cancel you. That's not democracy, you know? I frankly would be cool with people doing whatever the hell they want to do with their lives. But then as soon as you try to force it down somebody's throat, that's not democracy, that's autocracy. Oh, you have to refer to me like this. You must refer to me like this. But I'm a Christian. I don't have the same values as you. But I respect you. But can I keep my values too? That's democracy, is it not? You know? I'm going to read some of the comments here. Democracy always ends up to majority party. Yeah, it does. And it's the same thing if you guys watched the other stream about Edward Bernays. I told you that Edward Bernays basically designed the propaganda that we view today based on a democratic system, because he knows people think that having freedom is a perfect opportunity to basically fight for something you believe in and separate you as well. And in turn, it doesn't become democracy. It just becomes an autocracy with options, right? It becomes an autocracy with options. And the options are predetermined for you. You guys can read this. If you read Edward Bernays, he designed his system based on the feebleness of democracy. That was the whole point, because people needed an opinion, they needed a choice, they needed to have alternative views, and he knew that people would not be civil with that. So why not make one extreme that a lot of people would agree with, while also offering them a chance to feel like they have a choice? That is the beauty of how the world is, not the beauty, that is the terror of how the world is controlled, you know? 80s and 90s was cool. Nowadays I wouldn't want to be here. I feel you. The founding fathers of the USA didn't want the common person to have the ability to vote because they did trust their judgment. You know, it's an interesting factor. I keep on saying I didn't want to talk about politics, but yeah, you guys brought me here. I guess my point of view would be very based. I'll just give you my opinions, and you're allowed to interject or disagree. If you guys can have a conversation in a very polite manner, we can talk about it. You know, it's the same thing with communism. Yeah? Some people say communism is a disease, it's the worst thing imaginable, right? And the whole basis of the communist system is that it's about equality, right? People having the same thing, and basically your country comes first. The ideology of communism is actually quite brilliant. I guess it's the people that act it out that kind of ruin the reputation that it possesses. It's the same as democracy. Democracy is a lovely system. It's just that the people that implement the system, that's the problem. Yes, people are only democratic if you agree. That's how it works. Yeah, I agree with you. But Russia is not a democracy. Well, that's also debatable. But the point I'm trying to make is that everybody's allowed to have an opinion. Just as long as you're respectful, that's okay. Can you respond to my past responses? What are your thoughts on them? I didn't see Arcus. Can you post it again? There are so many chats coming through. I'm trying to... you said America was never democratic. It really doesn't matter whether you vote for Republican or Democrat. None of the politicians will ever help you, and they are all the same. That's just politics in general too. They tell you what you want to hear. That's the basis of how politics works, you know? Actually, I was wrong. Russia is a federal democracy. Greetings from Indonesia. Talking about politics is generally important, otherwise we fall into a conformity society, but people have to understand the reality of mixed different views. That's the thing. Yeah, Tiana Brown, I will agree with you. I will agree with you. It's very interesting to discuss these things. They matter. But with people that are decent, does that make sense? That makes sense. You know, the people is a variable too. Different systems mitigate or amplify the issues of the people. Also true. Also true. The political ideology weren't that bad. I respectfully disagree. Anti-socialism worked in the USSR. It was sold down the river by Gorbachev. I can also agree on that. You see? You see how that works? Even my moderator didn't agree with me. You don't see me cussing her out. I respect her views. And that's how people should communicate. That's how they should communicate. I can say something that might sound out of left field. Say, no, Andy, I don't really disagree. I don't really agree with you. This is what I think. And I say, oh, I've never really looked at it that way. And then we just move on, and then we're peaceful and we act like normal people. But then people have to go out and scream at each other, bro. I don't understand that. I was raised in a home where you were allowed to, state your claim when it comes to like educational things. Not with my parents. My parents pretty much ruled us with an iron fist. I'm from an African family. But like when my sister and I were arguing, just her and I, we had this thing when we just had this evidence, like we would argue civilly. As kids, we used to be pretty violent with each other. Really bad relationship as kids. But later, as we grew older, we discovered this way of communicating with each other and not agreeing with each other and being fine. And that was cool. And it is cool, to not agree, but still be civil about it. It's right behind the one you read about democracy. Something that surprised me to see the other day, NASA and Russian, Okay, I'm reading. Okay, thanks to the bits of socialism that are left, there's free medical care in Russia and free education the government used to give for free apartments. That's true too. But guys, I honestly need to read up about Russian socialism. So I'm also welcomed for people to educate me. I am so curious about the USSR because everything that I read in my textbooks was pretty much bullshit. I have not read the actual stuff. So if anybody has some books, if anybody wants to send me something on my Telegram, it's in the description. Feel free. It feels like things are going more global society, trying to make all of us one, hence all the immigration, digital money. True. The world is pretty much trying to lump us all together. And I feel like that only works if people acknowledge their differences. I'll leave you with this because I have to go. It's okay to be different. I think the worst thing in the world is when we don't acknowledge that we're different. That's the worst thing. But acknowledging it from a respectful way or in a respectful manner. And that way things work out a lot better, Russia could have so much more. They're a big country with lots of resources. If only they're... okay. 90s collectibles. Okay. I see you've stated your opinion. Thank you for sharing 90s collectibles. Did you ever try living in Latin America? Never. I think I need to visit with my wife. I have so many places I want to take my wife. So many places. So yeah. Systems are always in place and people ruin them, to put it lightly. Yeah, but I will agree on Svetlana on that one. Russia is not imperialist. That one I disagree and I reject completely. Thank you for sharing your opinion though, 90s collectibles, but I have to disagree. Somebody, I think I should eventually research about Israel and Palestine. I need to, because I have no idea what's actually going on. And I tried my best not to be one of those people that jumps on the bandwagon. I'll actually read. And then maybe if the stream is very much polite like this one, we can talk about it. But right now I'm pretty much a novice. Technocracy. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being respectful too. I never thought that I could actually discuss politics on my stream. I always cut it out completely. That was interesting. So thank you for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao.